you know, the bassist, everybody talks so much about technique and all these things. Why are we doing it? Are we doing it to solo for the rest of our lives? We're doing it to get up in front of people and perform and make something happen with an audience, or have a record that touches many people. And you're not going to do that necessarily with lots of soloing. You're going to do that with a song. And the whole purpose of being in music for me is to get up on stage and entertain people. It's not necessarily just sit there and solo all night long. That's crazy. So many people get into that too much now. And it's just, I think if people just kind of focused on their real goal in music, which should be to be up in front of people performing, you know, doing something that's going to touch a lot of people and have a common ground between you and a lot of other people, I think then you get back to songwriting, you know. So
communication.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the old days of playing in bars, we had to make our living by getting people in the bar, staying all night, buying drinks, picking up girls, whatever they did, but they had to get there and stay there. And the only way we did that was by playing the best songs we could find from every band, doing the best way possible. And that was like the best training ground ever. It has a lot to do with my playing, my techniques, my whole point of view, because as I said, the foundation of it is not soloing technique, you know. And unfortunately, it's bad that guitar has gone that way, but it'll be even worse if more bass players do that. I feel in a lot of ways have created some monsters out there, and that a lot of guys, the first thing they pick up the bass, they start doing hammer-ons. That's great, that's really neat, but if out of 500 bands that you could conceivably get in, maybe 10 of them you'll be able to take a solo in. Of those 10, maybe 20 or 30 seconds. So here's guys devoting their whole lives to all this stuff. Well, they'll actually only be able to do 20 or 30 seconds of it live, ever, you know?
And what about the groove?
That's where it's at. I mean, that's, you know, I learned about playing drums. I used to, in the old bands, used to rehearse with just the drummer alone. We used to learn all our songs and just going just bass and drums. Just, you know, no guitar, no vocals, just learning grooves, learn how to work with drums, pound along with them, stay in time. And we always had to get audiences dancing in the early days, so we always had to make it move. We always had to make it groove and slide, and we were always really successful. Tallis back in Buffalo, like we held every attendance record of every club. They stopped counting after a while, you know. It was like for over a decade, or from 72 to 85. I mean, Tallis was around in Buffalo and seeing if you can make it happen. But unaccompanied solos are great. But, you know, it depends on your audience and what kind of music you're doing. In a country and western band, I don't think you'd be doing too many unaccompanied bass solos, you know. Or I don't think Whitney Houston's bass player would be doing unaccompanied bass, you know, like that. But, you know, and other kinds of music, that's the case. And if it's entertaining enough, you know, it can be valid. But I think bottom line is entertainment on it too, you know. And musical technique is underneath communication. Communication is first, technique comes second. So if you're communicating, you're doing it, no matter what your technique is.